Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is LaWanda. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. My returning subbies, thank you so much for coming back. I have gotten so many subscribers here recently, so I'm so grateful for all of you. I really hope that you enjoy it here, and thank you so much for subscribing, right? So as you all know, I am in a fall mood. For me, fall is a feeling, and it is definitely in my heart, right? But I had to come on here and do my July favorites. It was all about summer, and I had a really great month. And so I have already done a summer favorites video. I also did a fall decor haul. So you guys know a lot of what I was purchasing during the month of July was really a lot of fall stuff, right? And then a lot of the summer stuff that I've purchased, I've already shown you those things. So I'm just going to talk about some of the things that maybe I haven't shown you, just some sort of lifestyle things that I enjoy. In my monthly favorites, I talk about the books I read, the movies I saw, my hauls, my favorites, and the bags that I carried, right? Okay, guys, and July was an amazing month of reading. I really got into reading books that it's like they were made for me. They were about women my age. I read some of my favorite books of the summer in the month of July, right? And we're gonna start off with a book called Sandwich. This was a Barnes & Noble's pick for the month of June or July when I picked it up. It says, for the past 2 decades, Rocky has looked forward to her family's yearly escape to Cape Cod. Their humble beach town rental has been the site of sweet memories, sunny days, great meals, and messes of all kinds, emotional, marital, and thanks to the cottage's ancient plumbing, septic too. This year's vacation with Rocky sandwiched between her half-grown kids and her fully aging parents promises to be just as delightful as summers past, except perhaps for Rocky's hormonal bouts of rage and melancholy. Hello, menopause. Her body is changing, her life is too, and then a chain of events sends Rocky into the past, reliving both the tenderness and sorrow of a handful of summers long ago. It's one precious week. Everything is in balance, everything is in flux, and when Rocky comes face to face with her family's history and future, she is forced to accept that she can no longer hide secrets from the people she loves. This book spoke to me. In this book, the character really articulated the depth of love for her kids. And that is something that has been just a part of my story since the moment I started having kids. Like the depth of the love for them is like it's so much that it's painful. And how she described that love for them and then the decisions that she made as a result of that, it really spoke to me. Like I understood exactly where she was coming from. Then her parents are aging, her parents are elderly, so she's having to care for her parents. She's holding this secret from the family, but the secret is one that she made. It was just because of the depth of love that she has for her family. She's just trying to navigate perimenopause. It was such an enjoyable, powerful, relatable read. This is one of the best books that I read all summer. And then the next book that I read, I actually don't have the book with me. I'll put a picture of the book up. It was called The 5-Star Weekend. So in July, I got introduced to an author by the name of Ellen Hilderbrand, and it has changed my life. So the 5-Star Read is about this lady, again, she's in her early 50s. I believe it takes place on Nantucket. She just lost her husband tragically. And then as a way of mourning and grieving and sort of getting over the loss of her husband, she wants to have a 5-star weekend. And she's going to invite 4 of her best friends from each phase of her life. So you have her best friend from high school, her best friend from college, her best friend in like her child rearing years, and then another friend who she just recently met. She hasn't actually physically met this lady, but the lady in the book, and I'm drawing a blank on what her name, the main character in the book, she is a blogger, a vlogger. She's very popular on social media because of her recipes and just her Nantucket idealistic lifestyle, right? And it is like all consuming, right? She has a daughter, she has a husband, and they both feel like it's just all consuming, but she has I don't know, millions of fans because of her relatability. I mean, she's beautiful, but she's just normal, and she lives in Nantucket, this beautiful house. The way that Ellen describes all of the scenes, it feels like you're there in Nantucket. Like, she describes the meals that the main character makes. She makes them all from scratch, and the attention to detail. I love that kind of stuff. I could just relate to that because I love dining and hosting and entertaining like that as well. It was just like goals, right? This book takes place over the weekend, and the secrets and the things that happen over the course of the weekend. I just love the whole concept. I love the whole notion. And then I read Carly Fortune, One Golden Summer. I've been really fortunate with the books that I have chosen because this was a page turner. It says, you know, good things happen at the lake. That's what Alice's grandmother says, and it's true. Alice spent just one summer there at a college with Nan, who is her grandmother, when she was 17. It's where she took that photo, the one of 3 grinning teenagers in a yellow speedboat, an image that changed her life. Now Alice lives behind the lens. She's a photographer. She's most comfortable on the sidelines, letting other people shine. Lately, though, she's been itching for something more. And when her grandmother falls and breaks her hips, she agrees to, she comes up with a plan for both of them to go back to Barry's Bay. And, she just wants to kind of disconnect from everything. She's just experienced a bad breakup. And so she's been really working a lot of hours to just kind of keep her mind occupied. So her and her grandmother, they go to Barry's Bay. She ends up meeting this guy named Charlie. Well, it turns out that Charlie is one of the teenagers who's in this photo that Alice took when she was 17 years old that she's always admired. She sold the photo and made like a lot of money on that photo. So then it just talks about this summer of the things that happened between them, them sort of getting to know each other better, and some secrets come out in this story. And I loved the ending. Nothing about this book was far-fetched or unrealistic. It is definitely a slow burn, but the build and the anticipation was so delightful. And then the last book that I read this summer, another Ellen Hildebrand, was Summer of '69. Can you guys see that? I don't know how the lighting is. Was Summer of '69. Now, I am including this. I did not finish this in July. I finished it early August, but I read the most of it in July. And this was my first historical fiction. It says, welcome to the most tumultuous summer of the 20th century. It's 1969. And for the Levin family, the times are a-changing. Every year, the children have looked forward to spending their summer at their grandmother's house on Nantucket. But like so much else in America, nothing is the same. Blair is marooned in Boston, pregnant with twins and unable to travel. Kirby, caught up in the thrilling vortex of civil rights protests, takes a summer job on Martha's Vineyard. Tiger is drafted and deployed to Vietnam. 13-year-old Jessie suddenly feels like an only child trapped in the house with her out-of-touch grandmother and her worried mother, each of them hiding a troubling secret. As the summer heats up, Ted Kennedy sinks a car off of Chappaquiddick. Man lands on the moon, and the Levins experience their own dramatic upheavals along with the rest of the country. All of the things that happened in '69, including Woodstock, are mentioned in here. And it talks about how this family related to everything that was going on and how it changed their lives. The story is told from the perspective of one of the people in the book. Either Jessie, the 13-year-old, Blair, who is pregnant with twins, Kirby, who is the civil rights protest. She's been arrested. All these things are going on with her. She kind of gets involved in this taboo relationship. And then Tiger, who is off in Vietnam. So I learned so much about what was going on in that summer and why it is so monumental and instrumental in American history. It was amazing, all while wrapped around being in Nantucket and the beaches and the lobster and the food and all the things. She just manages to just have so much interest in this book while telling the story and helping you to understand about the summer of '69. I felt like I wanted to be there. Like, I felt like it was just a great time, an interesting time for sure, just to be alive. And so it actually turns out that Ellen Hildebrand was born, she's a twin, and she was actually born in the summer of '69. So this book is a tribute to her and her twin brother. All right, guys, so let's go to the movies that I saw. The first movie I saw in the month of July was Jurassic World Rebirth. So the overview for this movie is Zora Bennett leads a team of skilled operatives to the most dangerous place on Earth, an island research facility for the original Jurassic Park. Their mission is to secure genetic material from dinosaurs whose DNA can provide life-saving benefits to mankind. As the top secret expedition becomes more and more risky, they soon make a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. And you know, it's the battle between good and evil in terms of, you know, once they get the DNA, do they use it for good or do they use it for some sort of privatization and where they could make millions, if not billions of money? So, you know, that interplay is going on. Very entertaining movie. I don't know if it's still out. I would highly recommend Jurassic Park Rebirth. Okay, and the next movie I saw was Superman. I enjoyed this movie. The actor that they chose for Superman, and his name was David Corenswet. I had never heard of him. He, in my opinion, is the best Superman since Christopher Reeves. I just like how relatable he was, how humble, you know, he was. He just seemed so realistic, and he seemed at times very vulnerable. Like I've never seen Superman like get beat up as much as he did in this movie. Obviously, it's Superman in the story. He comes out victorious. It's just something about his energy, something about the way that he looked and what he brought to the character I thought was extremely powerful. It has some humor in it, and this movie is the first movie where the super dog is involved in the movie as well. Then I saw I Know What You Did Last Summer. But you know, it's the classic something happens one summer and then the next summer when everyone has sort of moved on with their lives, they get reminded. The main character gets a note when she's at her engagement party. She's opening all her gifts, and one of the gifts she's opening, she's like, who is this from? And no one knows. And the note says, I know what you did last summer. And so then it carries it carries on from there. I enjoyed the movie. I thought the ending of it to me was a little lackluster. I don't necessarily like where they took the storyline, but still, all in all, it was a good, entertaining movie. It was a good, date movie. Loved the cameo. Then I saw the Fantastic Four, another really good movie. This was maybe the first movie that I've seen in the Fantastic Four franchise, so I wasn't familiar with all of the characters. Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, they're married, and they had been exposed to, some sort of radiation years ago that changed them into Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm. And so now, all these years later, they are married, and she gets pregnant, right? And so they're wondering, is the baby going to be normal? What type of powers will the baby have? And so Galactus, the character Galactus, has come back to Earth because he wants the baby. He feels like that baby is going to have superpowers. So it's all about them trying to stop Galactus, trying to protect the baby. The baby is supposed to be one of, if not the most powerful being in the whole Fantastic Four universe. I think if you have some reference to the comic books or even the prior films, it would be more relatable. I had to look up a lot of it, after the movie, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. Then I saw a movie called Oh Hi. This was a solo date for me, and I enjoyed this movie. Again, it was one of those movies where I was the only one in the theater, and I thought, why am I the only one in here? This is so good. So Oh Hi is about a main character. Her name is Iris. She is enjoying her first romantic getaway with Isaac, a guy who she's been dating for the last, I believe, 4 months, until he tells her that he's not interested in a serious relationship, and she's shocked by that. And he tells her this in the midst of them playing this sort of sex game where he's handcuffed or whatever, and he makes this admission, and she's like, what are you talking about? You say all the right things. You invited me out on this vacation. You told your parents about me. What do you mean we're not exclusive? He says, yes, I don't want to be exclusive. I never said I wanted to be exclusive. So then she keeps him locked up. She's upset and all that, and then the movie goes on from there. But this movie, I like to describe this movie as a mix between Thelma and Louise and Misery. If you can picture, if you've seen those two movies, it is a mix. So it's a comedy, but it's definitely a dark comedy. Because at times I was like, yeah, there's definitely funny parts, but it just gets under your skin so much how Iris and her friend and then her friend's boyfriend are handling the situation. Isaac cannot get out. So it is a dark comedy, but at times you kind of have this strong feeling that it's a kidnapping, and then the decisions that they're making and how they're rationalizing how they're going to get out of this situation is absolutely insane. It was a great movie. If it's still playing, guys, I highly recommend you to check that movie out. The last movie I saw in July, it was called Together, and I had been anticipating this movie for a really long time. So it's this couple. It says they're years into the relationship. Tim and Millie find themselves at a crossroads when they move to the countryside, abandoning all that is familiar in their lives except each other. With tensions already flaring, a nightmarish encounter with a mysterious, unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh. Basically, something is happening in this community that they moved to, and I believe it's something that's in the water that's causing these people and things and animals to meld together, like to become one flesh. Like literally in one scene, they're kissing and their lips are like melded together and they pull back and then you can see the skin coming back. It's just, it's weird what's happening. And it's just a weird town and these things are going on. So it is this one couple story about how they experience this phenomenon, this town or whatever. It is odd, it is curious, but it is certainly entertaining and a bit surprising, if not silly, at the end, but really enjoyed Together. I know that's still in the theater, so definitely check that out. All right, y'all, so let's go into our hauls for July. Like I said, you guys have seen my summer favorites and a lot of my fall decor hauls, so you know that I bought all those things. But let me just tell you about a couple other things that I bought several bag charms. I'm already thinking about my fall bags. I have a couple new bags that I will be showing you guys, but I was just thinking about fall bag charms. And so I got a couple of charms from Shein, and they're these charms. So as you can see, this one, it has like a chocolate bar on it. It has a lot of different trinkets, but I love the chocolate bar. And then it has like a bagel on here. For whatever reason, this just feels like fall to me. And I really love how large this is. You know, sometimes when you get bag charms, they're like small and all of my bags are really big. And so I was pleasantly surprised when I saw the size on it. I also bought this one, and this one has the pretzel on it. See that? But they're huge. You know, same color scheme and same other things, but it's just a little bit different. And I would imagine I could put both of these on the bag, which will just make it, you know, just stand out more and be more noticeable. But I love these bag charms, so I picked those up. And guys, this next bag charm, you will see it very soon in a what's in my bag video. But look at this. Guys, is this not the cutest thing you have ever seen? It screams fall and football and Snoopy and Peanuts and all the things. It's huge, but this is going to be so great with the totes and things that I carry. And I've already been trying it on some of my bags and it's gorgeous. These are lemon wheels. And you can see those, and these are lime wheels. And these are essentially, they're just garnishes. Like you put them in your drink. You know, if you're making cocktails or if you're making mocktails, just to, you know, put these inside of your drinks just makes the whole experience so much more luxurious and aesthetic. And it says, skillfully hand sliced, always perfect. We make your drinks look amazing. And you can see that right there, the top, what that says there. I also picked up this blanket. So this is it's actually a beach towel from Rachel and Zoe. I got this from Home Goods, and it's an oversized beach towel with this fringe that I think will just look, you know, really good with the other things that I will have with me. Just the neutral aesthetic of this, and I love the way it feels, and it's a really good size. When I go to the beach in the fall, I typically don't even have to set up the canopy because it's not as blazing hot. And yeah, just something like this when I just, you know, bring my other accessories, whatever purse that I'm bringing and whatever things that I have, I just think it'll be very aesthetic. And so yeah, I really like this blanket from Rachel and Zoe, and so I picked this up and cannot wait to use that at the beach this fall. Okay, let's talk about my favorites. This is that Necessaire deodorant. I talked about this in my summer favorites, and I have to, or did I talk about this? Yeah, my summer favorites, but I hadn't used it yet. I showed you guys. Well, since I've been using it, and it's my favorite deodorant. This is my favorite deodorant by far. The scent of this is so amazing, and it lasts. It's effective. I have the body wash as well, and so that's a favorite combination of mine. But I use this no matter what body wash I use. I use this almost every day. I love seltzer water, and I found one from LaCroix. I don't know if it was new this summer or not, but it is blackberry cucumber. And in full transparency, when I was reading the 5-Star Weekend at one of the events that the main character was hosting, they were drinking a cucumber seltzer, and I had never heard of a cucumber seltzer, so I went immediately to try to find one. And I didn't find one that was only cucumber, but I saw this blackberry cucumber, and so I picked this up from Target, and it is my favorite seltzer. I am obsessed with the taste of this. The cucumber and the blackberry, just, it's the essence of it. It's not sweet or anything at all, but the essence of it is so strong and so fragrant that this is a whole vibe and a whole experience. Okay guys, and then this Glow Recipe Avocado Face Cleanser. I opened this during my June no-buy month. I had this probably since last year, and I hadn't used it until then. It is so creamy. It's so silky. It has a nice foam, not overwhelming. It does not dry your skin out. I have enjoyed using this. My skin just feels moist. Very lightly scented, mild scent, if anything. It's like it puts a barrier of moisture in my skin, which I need. With my aging skin, sometimes it can get dehydrated, and this will be a favorite of mine, definitely all through the winter when your skin gets more dry because of the weather. I will rely and depend upon this cleanser. And these sunglasses from Key. Ever since I've gotten these shades, I have not worn any other shade. If you see my vlogs, my videos, anything, I have been wearing these. I am obsessed with these. They are lightweight, they are oversized, and it's just something about the way that they look. I am obsessed. I have not worn any other sunglasses, and these sunglasses were like $40. They're not even luxury, and I have all types of luxury sunglasses, but these have been my go-to. I finally got another case. I was able to go up and get another case. But guys, I got these from the Nordstrom sale. I think they're still available, but I am enjoying these. I will continue to wear these all year long. I'm almost compelled to get another pair because I'm afraid of something happening to these or me misplacing them, because I absolutely love them. I brought a dress from Nordstrom. I didn't bring it out, but I bought that gauze dress, and I was telling you guys that I went back because I bought the size was too big at first, and then I replaced the size. I've been wearing that dress. Every time I've worn that dress, I've gotten compliments. It is the most simple dress, but it just makes a statement. It's low cut in the front. You know, it's kind of low cut in the back. It's a maxi dress, and people literally stopped me. I was at Target. This lady stopped me. She was like, "Where did you get that dress from?" It is gorgeous. I bought it in black, and I bought it in sort of this olive color, and I've been wearing it nonstop. You know, I'm here in Florida, so it's still hot, so I'll be able to wear it for quite a while, but I have enjoyed that dress tremendously. Then I just want to talk about the fragrances that I've been wearing in the month, and I've been loving from Dior, J'adore, L'Or. I have been loving this. As you can see, there's a dent in it. I've just been reaching for it a lot. It's just an easy fragrance, whether I'm going to work or I'm just going on a weekend, or if I'm going, no matter where I'm going, it works for all occasions, day or evening. I also have been wearing a lot the Jo Malone. It's called Silk Blossom. I was just really going for that spring, summer feeling. Silk Blossom, so it's a little floral in there, just very fresh and very light. And I just found myself just reaching for this quite often, especially on the weekends, you know, when I was going out running errands and just casual things. I've had this bottle now going on 2 or 3 years, and I just love it. It's just one of those staples for the spring and summer. I've been pulling a lot for my Baccarat Rouge 540. I have the body wash in this as well, and I think I've been pulling for this a lot because the reaction that I get from Troy every time that I wear this is unbelievable. So, and I like that. I like that reaction. So I found myself pulling for this a lot. This is the one, he notices this all the time. But this stuff is popular for a reason, because it's just good. I had to go to an eyeglass appointment, and the optometrist, she was like, "You smell so good." She said, "Are you wearing Baccarat?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm wearing Baccarat." She's like, "That is the best fragrance," and I recognize it immediately. The last thing that I bought, just throwing this in here, I bought 2 of these. It's this spa and beauty set. I got this from Kohl's. Don't know if it's gonna come across in here, but I was so impressed with this. The size of this band is really big, right? It's really big and substantial, and then the arm cuffs are as well. Oftentimes when I see, like, and this white, so you can't really see it, when I see sets like this, they're too small. They don't fit my head, but this one, like I said, is made for an adult woman, and it's just really good. I got a great price on this, and that's why I just picked up 2. I just loved it so much. And to close out the video, let's talk about the bags that I used in July. I was doing a lot of rotating in July. I was pulling for a lot of bags. The bags that I was reaching for consistently certainly were my totes. So this All Saints tote, guys, I reached for this. I was taking this to the movies. I took this to the farmer's market. When I was going shopping, traveling, I was taking this. It is just huge and so functional and so versatile. It's so lightweight and it carries everything. So this has been in heavy rotation. I showed this in another month prior, but this remained in heavy rotation. I was wearing Isabel Marant constantly during the month of July. Again, an easy, lightweight tote that's neutral, goes with anything, can fit anything. I can kind of throw it around. I don't have to worry about being careful with it. It's durable, a little more structured than the All Saints tote, but not much. I also was pulling for my world tour bags. For whatever reason, I carried this one quite a bit. I carried my World Tour Speedy bag, and I carried my World Tour Alma BB. And yeah, I don't know, these just seem to go with the outfits, and were just the ones that I pulled for over the summer. I really like when I added this bag charm. It, you know, excited me, and so I used that more because of that. And this bag right here is just, you can dress this bag up or down. You know, casual or elevated, you can use this bag. And I just found myself pulling for it quite a bit during the month. Bags that I use a lot, I always sit them out on, like I have my closet where I store all of my bags, but the bags I'm reaching for a lot, I put them on a shelf in my room. These stayed on my shelf all month because I just kept going back and forth. And maybe because they were out, I was reaching for them quite a bit. But these are the 2 bags that I carried quite a bit during the month of July. All right, guys, that is it. This has been a lot longer than I expected it to, but I had a lot of stuff. July was great. I have thoroughly enjoyed my summer, and I'm looking so forward to August. I'm kind of at a slow start with my reading because there's been so much fall stuff going on and going back to school, and I've been sort of busy, but I am looking forward to getting into my first either fall read or end of summer read this week. And I'm building, you know, we've built the bookcase or whatever, and so that's coming together beautifully. So I'm looking forward to August, and I'm looking forward to what will be my favorites in the month of August. All right, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I appreciate you so much for watching. Have a happy, safe, and healthy week, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.